right. Good afternoon, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome back for the second Selection Sunday show. Real excited to see what this next week kind of comes to bring before us. I want to remind you all that there was a timeout right around the deadline that kind of prohibited some people from getting their lineups in. So I went ahead and just put in a basic preliminary lineup just in case something happened. I wanted to make sure that my team was in there. I really like the Joker and Zion from a distance. Rudy and Steph are my guys in the defensive wizard and shooter category. And I'm high on Benny this week. But, you know, there are decisions to be made. It's real competitive out there. And, you know, taking a look at the leaderboard from this past week, you can see that there are some trends. The first trend I think that definitely stands out is that Steph Curry is the guy in the three-point category. He just broke the second all-time leader, Reggie Miller, for all-time threes. He's now just behind the great Ray Allen. I just don't see how right now there's any sort of value not playing Steph Curry. Now, if you don't have Steph Curry, he's going to be a little bit expensive. He's right now at $164, but like 24 hours ago, that was like a $20 card, and 48 hours ago, that was a $5 card. You know, I just wanted to get him way back when. His price did dip, but man, I'm definitely happy about that. That would have set the franchise in a different place if we hadn't made that move. So we're happy about that. I think the other trend is that Giannis is going to be a popular play. I think Luka is going to be a popular play. And again, both of those players are probably, you know, hard to come by. I know we already have Giannis in our lineup, but I do want to do a quick check-in to see where Luka might be at if we can't get this to go. You know, I think Luka is a rising player too, and he's someone that over time is going to be someone that, you know, can be in a lineup ever so often. But you know, that's even more expensive than Steph. Like we're in the four digits, you know, if we want to get him in a 2-point option. So that's outside of our price range, and we're going to have to look for other places. I think outside of Luka in this category, you do see some new acquisition faces in Joel Embiid over here, Zion over here. We've had Joker for a little bit, and I really like him, as you saw early in the beginning. Kind of kicking myself for not grabbing Sabonis when he was worth $1. I think he's someone that ultimately will be a nice play. Picked up Lillard in the 3-point category, so we have some backup on Steph. But he's another 2-point play. And then Beal, you know, hasn't played much, so that's good. Christian Wood was ultimately the guy that killed me this week. He went down with a busted wheel. Doesn't seem to be serious, but he missed, you know, the past 2 ball games, which set us back. And, you know, 2 ball games in this competitive Swish context is gonna, you know, really kill you. Now, in the assist category, Trae Young had a really nice week, but I think you can see that there's some other options that will be intriguing, and I think assists is an area, given that it's only one category, you have to be very mindful who you are going to select. It's a good idea to have some good choices, and I think the Burn has some good choices this week. You know, it was interesting to kind of see the defensive wizard category. I think Rudy's going to be the primetime play. You know, my inkling was correct on him. He is being traded for a hair bit more than we thought he was at that $40 price point. You know, it was a little bit concerning to kind of reach to that level. This is just not cooperating. We can actually just jump over here. Might not be a bad time for a little check anyhow to see how the old account's doing. So wow, we're at 11 now. Last time I checked, we were still at 10. So yeah, Russ Westbrook going up there. We wanted to take a look at Rudy. Wow, 150. So we went up 100 and then some on that one card that we're going to trade. You know, we've blocked ourselves off for at least another week. I might be silly by even considering trading that thing after another week. So we're gonna hold on to that guy for a little bit. Excited about this card. Go on for 250. Aaron Gordon climbing up. Like, I don't necessarily value him as a player. He's someone I might unload if it gets really up there. And then Dort, I think people are valuing his rookie player status. 465 is an impressive price. And I think it maybe makes sense connected to my Russ Westbrook card because, Dort has some intrigue, but not necessarily the value that Russ might bring in a fantasy context. Now, I understand that most people look at it through a trading card sort of lens, more of a collectible sort of lens. But that my philosophy and my fundamental strategy is in there, and we're not changing from it. So we have to be aware of what other people are doing, but don't necessarily need to change our philosophy. So understanding that's kind of what's going on this week. I think 200 points gets you in the conversation, like I was mentioning, but it doesn't necessarily lead you to the path to victory. I think something that you're starting to see is that you need to get the exact right combination on each one of your selections. You can't go wrong. You can't have a Christian Wood go down. And so when I think about that, I say it's may not be the worst idea to go for it all every week. There's no real sense in sending out a quote safe play. There's no such thing as a safe play right here. You either win or you lose. And even to get into the top 10, you really need to put together a nice week. We have Walt Mister here chilling at 217. That stinks. We're outside of the top 10 and we're having an awesome week. So when we're looking at the next week, we're going to see what we can do to maximize our ceiling. And we're willing to sacrifice some floor if that's what kind of gets us there. Now, before we kind of look into our own options, I found the last 4-game segment on NBA.com. And so while it's not perfect because Bradley Beal didn't play much this past week, it's a good little indication as to which guys or, what did the last week see. And so, I think you're seeing some burners here. You have Beal, Joker, Giannis. We spoke about Big V, have not acquired him. Embiid and Zion, Jaylen Brown's in there, Christian Wood's there, Donovan Mitchell's there. So, all options, like to see that the franchise is moving in the right direction. Obviously you have to subtract the 3 points made and the free throws made off of that. But as a loose look at it, that's pretty good. Let's see what the 3-point options looked like. Come on, Botgate. I'll take down this NBA Top Shot. We're done with that for now. Okay. Come on. Ugh. Well, maybe this is why we don't use NBA.com. All right, well, we're just going to have to move on because I'm not doing that today. So, I think when we're moving into our projected lineup, I think what we look for is that we're looking for where there might be intriguing options. And in the defensive wizard category, while I like Fred VanVleet, I don't like him this week over Rudy, and Rudy's going to be our guy. I feel kind of the same way in the 3-point category with Steph. So those guys are kind of in green. But when we go to the 2-point option, I am honestly going to change my mind here and put it just back up for review. We're going back up for review on Zion. We're excited to have him. It'd be great to roll him out this week and have him win a week for us. However, I think we need some more consideration to be done there. And so let's kind of go line by line. Those are the 5 guys we're looking at with Joel, Zion, Gordon, the Joker, and Beal. Okay, and so, with Zion, the reason why he is kind of locked in here in a position where we're thinking about a surefire is that he's averaging 10 field goals a game in the month of January. He is getting to the line 5 times, so that's off of his point total, still 20 points. That's pretty close to his field goal made, and his 3-pointers, he's really just not taking many of them. It's just maybe one a game. So when he gets buckets, they're going to be in the paint, And yes, they might occur at the line, but if he's getting to the line, it's probably a good thing. So we really like Zion as a nice little option. His field goal percentage is very high. It's definitely higher in this month of January compared to his regular season average. And I think I like him as, someone who would just acquire. Like, it'd be kind of silly not to play him. Had we played him last week, we might be sitting, over Christian Wood. We might be, in the top 10. So that's Zion's kind of skinny. Now, I kind of overlooked Joel on the first kind of assessment. He has done a real nice job. He's averaging 30, 40 a night. He did have a stinker against the Heat. His minutes were down. I'm not sure quite what happened, but his fantasy ticker here could not be more positive. So he's already in the mix there. The other thing I will add is that I am strongly considering Ben Simmons, and I think there's an opportunity to kind of hedge or multiply your bet, understanding that you're absorbing some more risk. But I think there's an opportunity to really swing for the fences with both Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons in your lineup as a 2-point and then assist option. You can score multiple points on one play. I'm intrigued by that, and I think we might be going in that direction. Now, if that's the case, we like both Zion and Joel. Like, who are we going to leave out? So I think with Bradley Beal, you have to remind yourself why you like him so much. He is dropping a bunch of points. I mean, a 60-point game really stands out there. It doesn't matter how many free throws or threes. It's still a bunch. I will point out that would be 35 points outside of the score. That's basically 20 or so points. So it's not an outrageous total compared to some of the other high totals that we see. I think it's just another night in the park for Giannis. But we can't overlook how good Beal is. And for him, Beal, it's all about making sure that he can get the games in, because it is worse to have a game missed than somebody not dropping 60 points a game. And we're scheduled to play today. I don't know quite where we're at. I hate the music here. We struggle to get the information at an easy place here, but that's fine. Oh, Bradley, what are we gonna do with you, man? Like, I'd love to play let's see, they were supposed to play at 8 tonight, so that doesn't help. I don't like the headline, although it is 4 days old, that we're fighting the league on playing. Like, I need you to play, Bed. I need you to play. So, unfortunately, I know this might be the wrong move, but I don't want to risk it this week. I think there's going to be another week where we can play Bradley and Russ Westbrook together, and that can kind of function the same way. But as maybe Joel and Benny will this week, but we're going to be, unfortunately, out on Bradley Beal. Okay, now the good options keep on coming, because the Joker is next, and the Joker has done really well in this month of January. We're seeing some good points, and it's consistently in the 20s and 30s. He's getting a lot of opportunities, which is great. Not getting a bunch from the three-point area. There are games where he's not getting fouled quite as much. I think this game with the Phoenix Suns, going into double overtime after another overtime, those are good ball games with good points. He is someone that we're going to have to look at really hard. He is not someone we're going to cross off. So now we have three options, and with still Giannis to go. Now, referring back to our spreadsheet, he has just 3 games this week. I don't want to keep missing games. I almost feel like with the quality of our options, it's not even a discussion no matter how good he is, but let's take a look how good he actually has been. It's been really good. He's a horrible free throw shooter, which maybe isn't the greatest thing, because he'll continue to be fouled and sent to the line. But he's not taking too many threes. I feel like he's just doing that to keep teams honest, which I think is fine. But, as you see here, like just playing 2 times and then a third one on Sunday is just like, yes, he missed it because of another team's coronavirus, but it sucks, and it's honestly hurting the finances of the franchise. We even made some investments to try to have these moments work for us, and this is when they're supposed to be working, and now we just have to select which one to work. So unfortunately, Giannis, we love our jersey with you, but it's not going to happen this week. We have 3 other options that we like better. And then finally, Gordon Hayward. The one thing that you have to keep in mind about Gordon is that he's missed games every once in a while. He is definitely the more veteran, more seasoned option on the Hornets. But there are some intriguing pieces on that team that they seem to kind of be just spreading it around. From a team basketball perspective, I kind of love it. But from this contest perspective, I see where there could be some value, but I think it's a little too risky. It's a little too risky right now to be rolling out Gordon with the 3 other options we have. So, it's familiar faces with Zion and Joker. I think what we have to do is we need to look at what. I almost want to look at some scheduling, but why? It's which guy do you like better? This has got to be a field decision out of me, and man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I just don't know. We'll revisit it. How about that? We'll just revisit it. And then we'll see kind of where we decide to go in the assist category. Okay, that'll be a good change of pace. So to remind ourselves, in the assist category, we're looking at Benny, Malcolm, Russ, Damian, and Trae Young. Okay, so let's start with Trae Young. Like I said, he was excellent this week. He kind of had a dud on Friday, but 10, 13, and then for a total of 28 is in the league for the week. But again, he's playing 3 games, and I think you're going to find some better options. I think with Russ Westbrook, it's his health right now. He is definitely an awesome assist option. There's just no question about that. He is balls to the walls, looking to get people involved. I think out of these options, if all healthy with the same games is true, but he is not healthy. I probably would just no-brain Russ Westbrook and then pair him up with Beal. And let's just make sure that there's no latest news. And it's not a great send. It is only questionable. So unfortunately, we're going to have to move the franchise in another assist option. So that leaves Benny Simmons and Malcolm Brogdon. So with Malcolm Brogdon, let's see, he's actually live in action right now. He's put up four assists, and they're in the fourth quarter. So I don't love that. Might want to just kind of move right on to Benny because he's been great. He really has been. There's been one dunker, and the team lost. So I think it's a pretty easy pick for Ben this week. So we are going Ben Simmons, and that might put another egg in the Joel Embiid basket. Let's kind of just survey this. Let's look at it from a distance with the spreadsheet. We'll give those other guys some love here. But we're back to, we're back to whether it's, is Joker really going to be sitting on the bench here, or do I just flip it and go to Joker and leave Zion on the bench? At this point, I'm committed to going Joel Embiid, so we'll get rid of him, and we're going to just kind of ride or die with the Sixers this week. But let's take a look at who the Nuggets have this week. Where are the Nuggets here? Nuggets. Why are you escaping me here? Okay, so the Nuggets have Botgate. Dallas, Miami, San Antonio, and Utah. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing those 4 games, and I'm not really sure what to say about them other than I know Rudy and the San Antonio teams have reputations for good defense. Don't know if that's really the case. I mean, San Antonio, I couldn't tell you the first thing about. Other than that, like you don't see like Bama Adebayo maybe in Miami, so that's I don't know. I think Joker's still fine. Let's see if we can't hop over to this. Or it's not the Sixers, the Pelicans. The Pelicans. Where are the Pelicans? Not on here. Let's see here then. Pelicans. Oh, we clicked on the NBA. Oh, Buttgate. Ruining the show. We're still up in the air. I mean, that's part of this, though. As the pinwheel is spinning, and maybe we get a pack on the back end. I'm starting to think like, what's going to separate this thing for me? Like, am I going to see something here that is going to convince me that I should go Zion? And I think so. San Antonio is kind of a wash. Everyone gets San Antonio. So then I think what was it? It was Miami, Dallas, and Utah. And so we have compared to Washington, Milwaukee, and Houston. With 4 home games, I kind of like Zion a little bit. I can't believe I'm justifying it by a home game. I think maybe his schedule is a little bit softer. Maybe I just want him to be the choice. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think ultimately what we're going to do, and we'll solidify that right now, we're going to have to go into NBA bottom shot. We're going to have to clean up. We're going to have to trade out the joke man. And we are going to put in Joel Embiid, ride or dying with the Sixers. And let's see here. Podcast The Burn. Swish 3 lineup. That's the one. We're going to have to... No one's liked it. That's no surprise. I can't believe the Joker's coming out of this one. But he is coming out, and we're going to Joel Embiid. So that was a good, couple of new pack acquisitions in the showcase with some 3 other online or marketplace acquisitions, and we're gonna go ahead and save this copier back into the Swish lineup, and we are going to come back, post that in, and there we go. There is the new lineup. Got our Sixers guys on the right, Steph, Zion, and Rudy holding it down. It's funny that Christian Wood's photo wasn't taken. It should have been a sign that he was going to be absent on the back end of the week. We don't mind flashing this stat again. I'm getting tired of updating the asset sheet when you can just go here. But I think it's always important to have a running tab of your transactions, just to know kind of what you're doing, follow along, make sure that you're not just FOMOing all the time. It's so hard, but it's important to keep track of it, have an idea of what you're doing, and to leave you guys with the final other guys roster. Love Wayne Ellington came out of nowhere, and he's been lighting it up. I don't know if his 3-point card is available. Don't want to check on the bottom shot marketplace, but if Wayne Ellington is not available, I would go with Duncan Robinson from the 3-point category. From a points perspective, Colin Sexton's been great. It looks like he is the number one option. He's one of the moments that we parted with in the trade for our music deal, so you'll be hearing a lot of our music because we paid a pretty penny for it. But I like Colin Sexton. I really like Kevin Durant as well. He's getting a lot of looks. One guy that I maybe should have given just a little bit more love to is Jaylen Brown. But like I said, I like Joel Embiid is the guy right now. And I like Zion as someone who's just kind of lurking down there. That's going to make a kind of a jump. This is again in the past 4 games, so smaller sample size there. For assists, I liked James Harden last week. I kind of like him again. When I see Russ sitting there, like I really just want to play him. But he's, we'll have to wait. I think Luke is a great option. Again, these are 2 cards that are hard to find. If you can't do that, I think Chris Paul's a great option. I think, John Morant is going to continue to be a better and better option as we move forward. And then lastly, we did the 3-point, 2-point assists. Let's check out the steal guys. I think Kawhi's a nice play. I like Kawhi steals. Let's see how Rudy did. Not quite as elite at that 6-point. Clint Capella has been hot this past week, not only from blocks but also in the paint. Like he might be a sneaky point play if you might find some value there. Certainly not an elite option, but if he stays hot, he might be better than any other option out there. Kind of interesting to see Kevin Durant try on the defensive side. Might want to keep a tab on that. He might, he's got some length to him. So those are the guys. Those are the other guys this week. So to recap from the point category, let's go Colin Sexton and Durant. From the 3-point, let's keep it at Duncan Robinson. From the assist category, we'll stay at James Harden. And then from the defensive wizard category, I will go Clint Capella and block. All right, so that's a show, guys. Hope that this comes out in enough time. It usually takes about an hour to get it out onto the web. So that'll give you guys about 2 hours to watch and make your own decisions. If there are any updates to my roster, any injury or coronavirus, because that is something that we have to keep tabs on, I will be tweeting about it. But otherwise, my lineup. Can't wait to see yours.